We're so glad we had this time together.
Yeah.
That's live, baby.
It's that time again. It's the Burky and the Badger Board Game Babble Show.
Really
It's
loud.
Gonna get wild. It's going to get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're going to talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about.
Hey. It's Burky and Badger, and we're trying out something really cool. It's a program called SteamYard, baby. So we're going to see if the kingdom of Babblelot works with this new magical thingy that we're trying. Oh, hocus pocus. Yes, hocus pocus. Well, Babbleites, welcome to the Burky and Badger Board Game Babble, episode 70, and our wonderful kingdom of Babblelot. I am your honorable King Burky, and I'm the host of this elegant podcast that is streamed live on YouTube through SteamYard. Yes. Well, from your humble king, right down to the lowest of the low keyboard lickers. Keyboard lickers. Say that 3 times fast and you win a prize. Oh, well, speaking of keyboard lickers, here is my co-host and court jester, the Badger.
Hello, chaps and chapettes and Babbleites. That's the one, Babbleites. I'm on the wrong show
Babbleites.
here. Babbleites. There is no Babbleites. This is episode 70. Google Hangout is dead. Long live whatever. Yeah.
What's up with that anyway?
Oh, I don't know. I think they just blowing too much money elsewhere. Google been doing some weird stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, Google was cool. I mean, I liked the Hangout, but then they threw away the toolbox, and so then that was no fun. But, SteamYard, this thing looks like it might be pretty cool. And we got even little namies right below us. There's names in the corner.
Yeah, so people can tell which one of us is Burky and which one of us is Badger. Yeah, and we can also do this and see who's in the castle with us. We have Kabuki Kid.
Kabuki Kid's in the house.
Burky needs to center himself.
Center. I've been centered a long time. How's that?
And Ben Luncheon says, wow, it looks great. Yes, it does look great.
Our heads are level.
Yeah, our heads are level, but I can zoom out like that as well.
Well,
so you're missing out on this on the podcast.
I prefer having a big head.
Yeah.
I have a big head, you have a fat head. Hey, do you know how to lose 30 pounds of ugly fat?
Throw him a bone.
Cut off your head.
Yeah, okay. Well, I have to get some drops put in. A little touch of a button and it's like
that's a joke when you have a lot of children.
Yes. Hello, Darth Grada. Yes, the duck icon in the top. Don't worry about it. It's because we're using the free version.
It's Darth Grader. Okay. I am your father is in the house.
See, this is another good thing about this. If I do muck up someone's name, there's evidence on the screen what it really is and what they're saying.
Okay, Ben says there's a little lag between audio and video. By video quality, 10 by 10/10 would keep.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Now that is cool.
It is cool. But anyway,
in the Castle of Babblelot, we have a new hired tech guy.
Ooh.
The tech guy.
Ooh. I'm going to leave it zoomed out because you get like appreciation of everything around us. There you go. So anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 70.
70 episodes.
Yeah. So welcome to Babblelot.
Oh. Look at that. I think it's spelled right, isn't it?
It should be.
Babblelot. Babblelot. Babblelot.
So we're going to do a quick roundup of what's been happening here in Babblelot. And then we're going to go into our roundup of rumors in things that make us go, And we're going to do Something we haven't done for a very long time, which is our good, bad, and ugly section, where we talk about first impressions of games that we've played, and we've played lots over the past 3-4 months, because that's probably the last time that we did it.
Played lots.
And then we're going to go for a lovely little stroll through the Woods of Evergreen and talk about our 3 favorite games from the year 2009. The games which are still evergreens and still
hold up. Not necessarily our favorite. Because we're going to revisit this every so often as we loop through the woods, right?
They're my favorites.
They're your favorite? So you're picking your top 3?
Yeah,
I'm not picking my top 3.
But they are evergreens.
They are evergreens, yes.
Yeah. And then we're going to babble about unboxing, but probably not what you think.
Not what you think.
Yeah, not what you think. So without further ado, what's been going on in your end of Babblelot, my sire?
Well, Babblelot, it's got to be the biggest show in the northern, western part of Babblelot is GenKhan.
GenKhan.
Maybe. Yeah, what else can you say? I mean, when you think about going to GenKhan, particularly as a vendor and having to set up, that's how you say it. GenKhan. But as an attendee that are going to have fun, you go, GenKon. Ooh. You're so happy because you're going to GenKon. You don't have to do anything but look at all the pretty things. But setting up all the pretty things, that's another story. But no, seriously, GenKon this year was really great. It's a horrible thing to run a Kickstarter and then have the Kickstarter end and have 1 week to get all of your stuff together to go to the biggest show in North America. But it was actually awesome. We arrived early on Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., and we were able to set up a bunch of game toppers for Cool Mini or Not and Simon, come on, and for AEG. And I got to tell you, AEG did something so cool this year. Every day they had a different theme in their booth. No, they had 12 of our Adler game toppers that they purchased. And I got to say, I just think they knocked it out of the park. You know, the first day they had Edge of Darkness demonstrating on all the game toppers. All the backdrops were Edge of Darkness themed. The next day it was Tiny Towns. The next day it was kind of a hodgepodge of different games like War Chest, and they had Tiny Towns, Edge of Darkness, and Space, all kinds of different games out there. But then on the last day, they had Echoes, their brand new game, and it just looked like $1 million in those booths. If you go to GameToppersLLC.com or Game Toppers LLC Facebook page, you'll see some of these gorgeous pictures. So there was so many awesome things that were happening at GenCon. Simon was doing the new Trevang Kickstarter, was showing it, and their new Tableau digital table, which was crazy awesome. We had some amazing discussions with Come On as well, and we're going to be doing some really cool things with Game Toppers with Come On in the future and at Essen, Germany. But GenCon is such a busy time. A couple of things I just wanted to share real quick about were some highlights.
Have we lost him?
And
Yeah. I'm still here, I think.
We had... there you're back.
Oh, yeah, I lost you as well.
Did you guys lose us?
Yeah, Burky said that we were freezing, so...
Okay, well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Am I still trapped in time? trapped in time. Gonna be trapped in time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So are we back on live?
It looks like.
Okay. Well, long and short of all that, GenCon was I was saying that we were next to Gray Fox Games and Mythic Games and Meeple Source. So this whole corner of GenCon was just like Game Topper Central. And then you went to the other end of the hall and Come On and AEG and Capstone Games and our Academy Games and Arcane Wonders and Tasty Minstrel Games. It was like we were Game Toppers everywhere over there. So it was super cool. One of the things that was really neat at the convention, I'll just highlight a little bit, is we went, it's always a big treat for me to meet my backers. So we got tons of pictures with backers coming to the booth, and we were partnering with Miniature Market in booth 2901. Just had a great time talking to people, meeting people. I was in back-to-back meetings, so it was very busy. But one of the things that was really cool, on Saturday night, we went to the Secret Cabal Gaming Podcast meetup at the Alexander Hotel. And I stopped over there. I had a dinner meeting beforehand. I just stopped over for a little bit, and then we were going to have another meeting with another publisher after the fact. So I stopped over for about a half an hour, and we're getting ready to leave. And Travis Reynolds from Queen Games, he stops at me and he says, "Burky, come on, you got to get over here." And I said, "No, I got to go." He goes, no, get over here. So I walked over there. Well, here standing in the corner are three designers. It was Jason Matthews, who did Twilight Struggle. You had Isaac Childress, who I already know fairly well. And then Stefan Feld was standing there in all of his boldness and gloriness. Well, Jason Matthews, he goes, "Burky, I've been following your Kickstarter. I really want to get one of these." And then Stefan Feld starts talking about the topper, and Ulrich was there from Queen Games as well. He speaks German, and so he was translating, and Stefan was like, "Oh, I want to get the topper." I want the topper. So that was really quite a lot of fun meeting Stefan Feld and Jason Matthews, great designers. So that was some real highlights of GenCon, and just seeing so many people enjoying Game Toppers everywhere you went, and they would come and just say, "Man, you really upgraded our gaming experience," and very, very rewarding, and really thrilled to help out all those folks.
Yeah, cool.
Missed you there.
Yeah, I kind of. Yeah, it was rather sad. I was like looking at all the pictures going, "I was there last year. I was there touching those toppers last year. I was there doing, with these people and friends." But hey ho, it is what it is. Maybe next year.
Well, it's, when you talk about GenCon, you could just talk for hours, because there's such wonderful food. There's wonderful experiences that you have. And
the food. No.
Oh yeah. We went back to Harry and Izzy's and had some of that amazing shrimp cocktail with the horseradish, baby. And then Brian Pope from Arcane Wonders buys me a 2-pound lobster with crab meat in it. I ate a 2-pound lobster with Tom Vassell and Brian Pope. Okay,
but is it lobster with crab in it? I mean, that's like ordering pig with horse in it.
Well, it was like a turducken for lobster. It was a lobster ducken.
Okay.
I wanted crab wrapped in lobster and shrimp and wrapped in more crab and more lobster and rolled all together. And then it had this awesome cheese on it. And he brought out like 3 plates of oysters for all of us. And it was like, wow, a bunch of the Arcane Wonders staff was there and some of the Dice Tower crew. And oh my goodness, it was crazy off the hook. And then we went to Rathskeller's, which is this German restaurant. You want to talk about some good German sausage and different meals. I had schnitzel the one day, and then went with the Secret Cabal Gaming Podcast and had bratwurst. But they've got this mustard that you dip your pretzel in. I mean, it'll hit your nose 3 times. I mean, it's way more than that horseradish.
pretzel in your nose. Mm.
It was awesome. So,
Okay.
So many great places.
Cool. Right. Things that make me go.
Oh, I gotta say one more thing. I'm so
Go on.
sorry. There's so much going on in my head, and everywhere else. We had a backer from Game Toppers. His name is Daniel Sertivus, I believe is how his last name. And he reached out to us the first day that we were there, just before we were driving, and asked if he could take us out to dinner. And so Kelly Hughes, which he's a professor at a college in Alexandria that helps us in the summer months. And he helps a local game store with Kent up in Alexandria. And then my son Josiah was with as well. All three of us went to this Italian restaurant. I think it was called D'Angelo's or something. And they had this deep dish pizza, and they put like 2 pounds of mozzarella cheese in the middle of it. So when you open that it was like, there's big honking strings of cheese. It was like flipping awesome. But here, one of our backers wanted to spend some time with us and take us out to eat. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, I really would like to get to meet you guys. And I mean, what a treat, right?
That is a treat. You talking about food when I haven't eaten. You've probably not eaten.
No, and it's lunchtime and I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, it's dinner, end of day dinner time here. Oh, well, I'll hold off my cheese on toast until...
I do have a Diet Coke, though.
Okay. So the things that made me go basically from GenCon. One, there was the mention of Marvel Splendor. And that made me go, because...
Oh, so we're moving from what's been happening in Babblelot to...
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Things that are... Is that what you want to do? You want to move on, or do you want to say what you're up to?
Oh, yeah. We'll have to cut all that out.
No, I'd leave it in. That's good stuff.
I'm so happy playing with all these toys.
That shows how unprofessional we are.
We are very unprofessional. Yeah. So yeah. What's been happening here?
Salt March RPGG.
Well, I shouldn't have put that really. I should have really put Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, my first Dungeons and Dragons Sirenscape has been released at GenCon.
Oh,
yeah, which is the Lost Minds of Found Delver, which is it's over there. It's the starter set for Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're new to Dungeons and Dragons, it's like $20. They keep saying you could get up and delve into the realms of Dungeons and Dragons. But I've created the sound set for it, so you can enhance the game by having the actual sounds of Cragmore Cave, and then you got the village of Fandel. It's not Fandelver, but it's like
Fandelville.
It's
Fandelville.
Mini Fandalva.
Smallville.
Fandelvia. I think I can't remember.
Ortonville.
Oh yeah, but you can wander around the village, and there's ruffians there, and they will kick in. And then I've added my own music, so I've created my own kind of like Lord of the Rings inspired Fellowship of the Rings kind of music, which plays in the background as like the heroes are strolling through the forest, and it's cool. Like just. But so yeah, I'm happy that that's done, and I'm currently working on Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is like 7 adventures from the Dungeons and Dragons world. So yeah, I didn't do all of them. Some of them have already been done, but I'm doing the majority of them at the moment, which is really exciting because I get to play with sound. So yeah, that's what's been happening in my end of Babylon.
Kabuki Kid says, Otisville. It's a tiny little place, Mr. Luther. Otisville. That's very good, Kabuki. Yes.
Okay, so we will now move into our things that
make you go,
Things that make us go, Board game news. Burky and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad. But there are all things that make us go,
Yeah. Sorry if the music is too loud, because I on Google Hangout they had a a gauge so you can see the bar, the volume, so I could see how loud I was talking and how loud the music was. There's none of that here. So hopefully, if this system works really well, we'll upgrade and subscribe, and then we'll have all the drops and sounds in the computer, so I won't have to go over to my CD player over here, and everything will be at a touch of a button, and it'll be equal. But
wow.
We'll see how this goes.
Professional.
Things that make us go,
Yeah, well, I have some things that are making me go, And one of the things that is getting a lot of buzz is you have some pictures, I think, to show of our memes coming up, but probably some other pictures. But there's a big hubbub about the BGG website, and more importantly, the BGG logo. The orange spot, as some have called it. Yes, the orange spot. It resembles many, many things. It is an abstract spot. It's like the black spot. Oh, Superman, still one of my favorite superheroes, Kabuki Kid says. And now he's even more super. He feels empowered because of this spot.
spot.
the orange spot, the dreaded orange spot. Well, okay, so unless you've been underneath a rock in the board gaming hobby or have not paid attention to any social media, this is a big deal. BGG has been working on a re-wet implementation of the website to make some improvements, and then a complete new rebranding. Well, there's Jason Moen from Big Kid Games. He's got this great big orange red beard, but now he's chosen to just wear the spot. The orange spot.
But there you go. There's the new BGG page with its new icon.
There's the icon.
Yeah, it hasn't changed much. It looks cleaner. The font looks nicer. The icon from a distance looks a bit like just a blob, but it's not until you do get closer or look at it on the screen that you can actually see that it's like I sent you some other pictures there that show the before and after, and a few others. Did you grab those? Possibly. they were in your message. They're in your messenger. Were they? Where did I put them? Where did I put them? No, in your messenger, unless you didn't save them in your file. In my messenger on Facebook, you mean? Facebook Messenger. I sent them all and said, You said. Put them in your folder for the show. I said this. You said it a whole bunch of times. You did you? I did. You did you? I did. I said it. I've got some. You got some? Yeah. I saved two funny ones, which I found were extremely funny. And now I can't find. What about the ones I found were funny? I know what. I'll go to my Facebook then, shall I? Oh, Kabuki Kid says the funniest one was the picture where someone photoshopped on Trump's hair to the orange blob. Believe me, this logo will be the most luxurious logo you've ever seen. Believe me, your ratings will go up if you use this orange spot. Yeah, I don't have a problem, but obviously the internet's gone wild with it. Well, that was the thing that made me go, I just come on. Change, I know everybody has a hard time with change. I don't necessarily like change with my operating system when I just figured out how to use it. So that irritates me. But on the other hand, I like improvements. And I mean, we got to say this, and whether you like the new logo, whether you like the new thing or not, it has its flaws. BGG can be a challenge to navigate. I struggle with it. But you got to give these guys some credit. I mean, these guys have worked like dogs to create a place where every piece of information you can almost ever want to find is at. And you know, it's on BGG. And you can find such a wealth of information. And I realize that this is probably very upsetting that somebody doesn't get the logo that they want. But
it's not like your life ends. It's not like you should have to go to the emergency room. And I'm making a little bit of fun of it, but the problem is I've been seeing people get online and just trash BGG for how bad they are and how, what were they thinking and who's the idiot that came up with this and saying horrible things. And like, I remember the day when we used to just talk about board games and have fun.
Yeah. But they've tried to make it a bit more generic, so it's more open to everybody. Because I think that before it was kind of like, yeah, that looks like a weird geeky site with the old Eric, I think his name was.
Yeah, Eric Martin.
No, not Eric Martin. The Eric logo.
Oh, Ernie.
Ernie. Sorry.
Yeah, and basically that's what this
drove
is.
The fastest milk cart in the West.
Yeah, so. It's basically a what did you say?
Ernie, who drives the fastest milk cart in the West. The Benny Hill song.
Okay.
Those of you who know Benny Hill.
Went right over my head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Look at that.
That's my favorite one. That one made me want to change my pants because I got very, very, yeah.
Well, look at it. I mean, you got Board Game Geek. You got Facebook joining along with a nice abstract. Twitter.
Yeah. And then
nice.
There's a few like that as well, like the old UK Olympics logo, which was you see the resemblance, but it's modern art.
Well, I was wondering if we couldn't redefine our logo somehow, and like the king's crown could become abstract, and your jester hat could become abstract, and maybe even the castle. And I think we need a rebranding of Burky and Badger as well. Yeah, because we're no longer in medieval times, even though we act like it.
Yes. We need to get some banners made and tapestries built, I think.
Tapestries.
Yeah.
So all of you Photoshop wizards out there, we are now commissioning a new abstract logo. So join us. Send your information to Burky at boardgametheater.com, and we will gladly show all of the wonderful designs that you come up for us.
Mm.
Yes.
So moving right along, as I said, at GenCon, one of the things that surprised me was the announcement of Marvel Splendor. So I'm like, well, Splendor's like one of my favorite games, and putting Marvel on it changes nothing. I know nothing about the game. I don't know if it changes any of the rules or any of the mechanics. Well, I don't think it changes any of the mechanics, otherwise it wouldn't be called Splendor. But that just made me go, ooh, interesting. They're appealing to a different audience. Again, it's this, just an image changes who looks at you.
True.
And that's what they're doing with Splendor. Splendor, when you look at the original cover box, it's kind of like elegant kind of art. And you think, what's that about? But when you see Marvel characters, you're instantly drawn because Marvel is like the biggest thing. So that made me go, from GenCon. And also, Destiny's Time of Legends was announced at GenCon as well, which is a game coming from Lucky Duck Games and Mythic Games. They are using. You probably saw this with Az. It probably wasn't demoed on one of your tables, but
no. He had Joan of Arc demoed on the Game Toppers and stuff.
Yeah, this is the Joan of Arc universe, but it uses the Chronicles of Crime mechanism of an app.
Okay.
So I got to see. I was told about they were doing a project together way back in June. So Leo and Vincent were talking about this. They said, Barry, we want you to do some music for our game. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm like waiting for some news about what this game's about. And I saw it at GenCon, and now I know what the game's about. And I'm going, okay, this is cool. So I'm excited about this because in Joan of Arc game originally, they had cards with dialogue and questions on it. And so obviously that's been transferred into the app, but they've also changed the gameplay as well, because you're not playing as any of the characters from the Joan of Arc game. You're playing as like normal people who are witnessing these events.
Okay.
and it's how you interact with these main characters which creates the story. And it sounds like it's going to be like a Monkey Island, Secrets on Monkey Island, Treasure on Monkey Island. No, I can't remember what it's called. Monkey Island. It's just called Monkey Island. You know, the point and click game where you're the young pirate trying to learn, and you can pick up a monkey and try and put it in a letterbox, or you can pick up the snot and mix it in with the tissue and the hair from the Yeti to get past the puzzle. So it sounds like it's got that kind of elements in it, which is going to be really enjoyable, and it's all done on the app. And plus, there is some physical things. Excuse me a second. We have an invasion.
Let's move right on to the good, the not so bad, and the ugly.
No.
The good. The not so bad. Wait for it. And the ugly.
Yes, Kabuki Kid. Guy Bush Threepweed. That's the hero.
There it is.
There it is.
Just pushing buttons. Just pushing buttons. Yes, that's correct, Kabuki Kid. All right, we're going to talk about some of our games that we played. Give us a little bit of what we're going to be doing here, Sir Badger.
Okay, the good, the not so bad, and the ugly is our first impression segment, where we kind of do it game show style. So we will describe a game vaguely to the other player, the other person, and hopefully you guys at home, so you can try and guess what game we're talking about. And then once you've guessed, we tell you, you try and guess if we think it's good, bad, and ugly. Good is a game that we're going to play again and again and again because we really enjoyed the first playthrough. A not so bad game is a game that we can take or leave, and an ugly is a game that there's no way in 10 heavens that we're going to replay this game due to the fact we had a really bad experience. And that's a rare thing. It's very rare that we do a bad, but you never know.
So we have a good, the not so bad, and the ugly. All right, so I will tell you about a game that I've been playing, and this is a tile laying game. It is also a game by one of my favorite designers. So those that you follow know I have several favorite designers. This is one of them. This is, when I say tile laying game too, it's actually more of like a tile placement where you are building an area to collect points. And this is a point salad type of game. The game also allows you to score victory points in so many different ways by collecting these tiles that allow you to collect different resources that allow you to get other points on like a player board that everybody can join in on. So there's a little bit of a race to go over there and get those points and collect the resources before your enemy, I mean your opponent, is able to do so. It could really be any theme, but it has a kind of a Roman theme on the game. So do you have any clue of what I'm saying about this? What game this might be?
Oh, it sounds like so many other games that I'm thinking of, but I can't put my name on what was it? We played a game with Paul Grogan. It was sounded a bit like that.
No, it's not that one.
No, it's not that one. Okay.
That was Forum Trajanum.
Forum Trajanum, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I haven't got a clue. I wonder if anyone in the chat has...
The designer is Stefan Feld.
Okay.
Produced by Aaliyah.
You probably played this at GenCon.
No, Dice Tower Con and before.
Okay. I haven't got a clue. I can't think.
The game is Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem. And Kabuki said it might have been Copenhagen. But no.
Wrong.
Okay.
No, Carpe Diem. I got to tell you, this here plays over, I believe it's 6 rounds. It's very unique because when you have one action and you've got this circle of where all these 4 tiles are, and there's several placements, and you have to go from one to across or to another direction to pick up that group. And then from that location, you can go to a different zone to pick up a tile. But you're trying to collect these little farms or these brick houses, or you're trying to get other kinds of things that, well, some of them will give you extra actions, for instance, to go pick another tile from this bottom track. Some of them, if you complete the little farm, maybe you complete a water zone, you get extra fish. Well, those fish resources allow you to go over to this other place where you can get tracks. And there's a knowledge track. So if you get certain buildings, you get that knowledge, and that moves up and gives you points. So there's amazing. I believe we did play with the most recent game. We just got it. I could be wrong about that if there's something I don't know, but we recently played it. Kabuki says, I saw Rado love the original rules, but dropped it heavily for him with the 2nd edition rules. Well, I don't know the answer to that one. All I can, what do you think? What do you think I think about this game, Sir Badger?
It's a Stefan Fowl. You like point salads. This is probably a point salad, much like the other point salad games that he's done. So I'm going to say that you thought it was good.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. Yay.
Yep. Ta-da!
Point
so
for me.
We have a meme for the good. I think it's that I forget now which one it was. Yeah, it's that one. The BGG logo, Batman and Robin. The BGG logo, Batman or Robin
doesn't ruin your life. Take that.
It doesn't ruin your life.
Whack. No, it doesn't.
Bam. Biff. Whammo.
So there you go.
Well, that's the thing. I love this game. We've played it several times. Kay King and her husband, oh gosh, I just lost his name. Andy came over and their family when we were still running the Kickstarter for Game Toppers. And we did a live show. And then afterwards we played some games, and that's the one we played. Just so much fun. I played it several times with my wife and my daughter, played it with Josiah. There's just so many different paths to victory. I almost beat Josiah. Josiah. In fact, I thought I had him beaten. I almost beat him. It's just a cool, I don't know how to say it. Just the way things come together make you feel clever. If you can put those 2 pieces together, and even if you don't win, you're happy because you've done so many things. Yeah. So I think it's a fantastic game.
Okay. So my turn. Let's see if you guys can guess what game I'm talking about. In this game, it was taught to me in French, so if I muck up the explanation, I apologize. So in this game, it's a kind of big group game where one player is someone who's going to be giving a clue to the other players of a word. But one of those players won't know what this word is. But yet they have to play the game as if they do know the word. Oh. Players are going to be playing cards which very much resemble cards from Dixit. And they'll be trying to deduce who didn't get the memo of the word that our clue giver set up to say. And so this is a kind of deduction game, but you're using surreal art to deduce who is the actual liar.
I know what this is, so I'm not going to guess because
nobody on the chat's got it. Sorry, Ben. It's not medium.
It's not medium. No. I'll give a clue. I think if I have it right. Is it made by CGE?
No.
Oh, then I don't know. Oh. I thought this was a word game.
It is a word game. I give a big clue away because clue is Dixit. There's Dixit cards involved. But it's also a game which it's Dixit, but it mixes in Spyfall. So you have these two
I heard about this
together.
Yeah. I just heard about this.
And it's coming from Blue Orange.
Yeah, Kelly Hughes was just talking about this game, actually. I believe he was teaching it. They went through a whole bunch of Blue Orange games. Oh, gosh. I forget the name of it, but yeah.
Detective Club.
Detective Club.
Yes, it is literally
not what I was thinking, but okay.
It is Dixit with Spyfall. One player is going. Unlike Spyfall, where everyone gets a card and everyone's playing at the time, the word maker is handing out these little notepads to all the players, but one of them hasn't got his word on it or her word on it, and that player is then kind of not really playing, they're more observing, but at the same time they will be selecting two cards because you're going to have a handful of cards and you're going to have to decide a word from those cards. And so it's like you're looking at the cards and you're trying to deduce what the words are by playing the card, and then you go around and you explain what word you think it is to the other players. And so there's this element of, you know, as I said, Spyfall, where you're trying to keep in with the in crowd, but at the same time you're trying to be clever as well, because I found that when I played, most of the group played the cards that were very obvious. So it was like if the word was fruit, they'd play a card with fruit in it, and when you see three cards with fruit in it and you are the person that doesn't know what the word is, you kind of like go, okay, yeah, I think the word's fruit. I've got some fruit here. Boom. Sometimes you don't have an image with the word in mind if you have the word. So if you have the word fruit and you go, okay, I've got no fruit in it, I'm going to play this card because it looks like there's an orange sun, so it's like an orange. There you go. Or there's a monkey. Monkeys eat bananas. So, but as long as your story kind of concludes, you can try and throw the other players off that you are actually the person without the word.
Does it help you? Like one of the problems I found with Spyfall for me personally, I know people like it, but I had a hard time being able to look at that initial picture of Spyfall and be able to pull all that stuff out without contemplating it more. And then people knew what you were doing, so you kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
And then I had a hard time seeing across the table sometimes with, you know, with cards and whatnot. So does this fix that a little bit by having the card, or
not really? You because when I played, we played a 7-player game, and 4 out of the 7 times I was the player that didn't have, well, 4 out of the 6 technically, because obviously I had to do it. 4 times I didn't have the word, so 4 times I was like the spy, so to say. And at first it was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm looking at the other player's cards, and especially if like maybe the word giver is the player on your right, you are the first player, so you're playing the first card, and it's like, well, what card do I play? And so yeah, there is some deduction, but you know, it suffers from the same thing as Spyfall. If you are the first player to be spoken to and you haven't got a clue, it kind of like shows on your face. And I mean, the first 2 times people knew that I was talking out my behind when it come to explaining what my cards are and what the word was. But after a while, I was able to start bluffing because I was throwing the bluff off because other players were playing bad cards, which had nothing to do with the word, but they were making up these stories for why it was that word. And so from bad playing on their part, I was able to, you know, push the blame and get some points.
I'm going to guess that you think this is not so bad.
No, I think it's good.
You think it's good?
It's
Wow.
good. I mean, I haven't played Spyfall. It's a game that I've always wanted to play. I like Dixit a lot. You know, it probably sounds like quite a little bit negative about the game because I was playing with a group of French people, and at first it was a bit hard to decipher what words were and the kind of the feel of the game. Because I mean, yeah, it was explained to me, but sometimes it takes me, you know, about 5-10 minutes into the game to understand. Oh, right, this is how it works. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing it again. It had a lot of creativity. You had to be really imaginative. As I said, if you haven't got cards with the word on it, you have to find something which will convince the other players that, yeah, that I have got the word, and these cards are the right cards. But you know, it's storytelling plus this hidden traitor spy thing. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Detective
Cool. It looks nice. Well, I have another game that I actually played at Dice Tower Con.
Yep.
And this has kind of a nautical, piratey, smuggling, Caribbean type of feel to it. It's an older game. It's a game that I had heard about but had never played. A very avid gamer friend of mine, Trey Lennox, and his wife, Mariana, and a couple of their friends invited me to play with them. So we played it 5-player. I've never played it before. It has kind of a economic element to it because you're picking up items and then you're selling them in this entire nautical type of theme. There's several different places that you can go, but there are dangers in the deep.
Ooh.
So tell me if you have any ideas. This was made in 2005 to give you a little bit of a clue. Okay. And a fellow Frenchman, Bruno Feduti,
was involved.
There's actually 3 designers involved.
No, it's not Jamaica, because Jamaica has no pickup and delivery system. I was thinking Black Fleet, but now you put a year on it, it's definitely not Black Fleet, because that was like 2015 or so. Pirates Cove?
No. Good thought.
Merchants and Marauders?
No.
No.
Another good guess.
I
would say it's not as heavy as Merchants and Marauders. Probably in that family weight type of game. Took us about an hour and 20 minutes.
I can see a box like it, but I can't think. I might have to pass just to save time here.
Kabuki, got any thoughts?
Let's have a look at the comments. Ben says
Ben had a couple good shots.
Jaws.
Not Jaws.
Merchants and Marauders.
Nope. Great game. Love it.
Any more guesses?
Kabuki stepped away. No problem. Well, it is the game Key Largo. Key Largo. You're basically picking up some of this deep sea scuba diving equipment that you can buy and that allows you to get another diver. And these divers are funny characters. And then you've got these different zones that you can go over to these sunken treasures, and you can go into there and there's different treasures that you're going to pick up. Some of them can be jewels, some of them can be money, and you're going to need to trade some of the jewels or some of the artifacts to get. And there's a really unique mechanism. If one person goes to one of the action selection zones or worker placement zones, if you will, excuse me, if one person's there, you're going to get the most. If 2 people are there, you're going to get less. If 3 people are there, you're going to get even less. So you don't want to go to a place that somebody already is. So it has that mechanism, kind of like Pirates Cove, where You don't want to go. You're trying to guess where other people are going, and you've got these cards, or a deck of 5 cards, I think it is, or maybe it's 6, and you choose 2 of these locations. You have a morning and a night card, and you play it, and so you're trying to do the opposite so you can maximize the area that you're going to either be purchasing gear, or that you're going to be trading, or that you're going to be converting into money. And bottom line, at the end of the game, whoever has the most money wins. So what do you think? Yeah, the art is super wacky, but it's kind of interesting, actually. So what do you think I think of that?
I think that you think that it's not so bad. I don't get the impression that you enjoyed it that much, but you thought it was okay. And yeah, you've probably played games like it, but better. Kind of like Citadels.
I fooled you.
Oh.
You know why pirate jokes are funny, don't you?
I'm gonna bleep you out now. You're now muted. I have the power. He can't. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You're gonna hear it on the audio recording on iTunes.
Oh, zoot.
Oh wow. So no, we loved it. It was so much fun. It was just that I love economic games. I love stockpile and speculation, and so, some of these games. I love that type of element. There was that unknown, whether that that sea monster is going to come up, and whether they're going to knock out one of your divers, and you kind of need to have 2 divers so that you can collect at the same pace that the other people. So you can get a trident, and that'll help protect you, and you can get an extra air hose so that you can go deeper and go over to the other shipwrecks to get more, but it's more dangerous.
Yeah.
It was just super fun. Everybody just loved it. And this is an older game that I think hasn't been talked a lot about, and it probably could have a makeover. I kind of enjoyed the art, but you can tell it's really dated. But as far as the gameplay, there was 3 designers. It was Paul Ranellis, Bruno Feduti, and Mike Selnicker. And I had a hard time finding who made the game, and it was Paizo is all I could find for the actual publisher.
All right.
So anyway, Key Largo. Enjoyed it a lot.
I got Paizo, Tillis, Titanic, Ergmon,
I'm pretty sure it's all out of print.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it's been published in the States.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. Okay. So, my turn. See, I've turned the chat off, so I can't see the chat. Wow, why have I turned the chat off? I need to see the chat, see if you guys can guess which game this is. Okay. In this game, your character will have some statistics, which you have to meet to score points. And you're going to be trying to do this in the typical kind of Dungeons and Dragons style by rolling dice and then putting those dice into statistics like like charisma and strength and dexterity. Do I need to go on?
I know what it is. It's sitting right there. Can you see it? That's it's the game Role Player from Keith Mateka from Thunderworks Games. Thunderworks is a Game Topper affiliate. The quick little interjection story at GenCon. John Rott from Gatekeeper Games has a Kickstarter panel, and he had industry professionals from different aspects of the industry on this panel. And I was actually asked for the large projects to be on the Kickstarter panel. And Keith Mateka from Thunderworks Games was actually sitting right next to me. We're good friends. And so he had, from a publisher standpoint, and I was from large product production standpoint and all of those kind of things. And we had an amazing time with about 50 people who actually came to the seminar there at GenCon, which was really, really cool. But we talked a lot about all the expansions that he has for this game. So go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So Role Player, which is basically a dice rolling game, and then you allocate the dice into your character sheet, and as I said, you've got to try and match the levels that they set. So if your character needs to be level 18 on charisma, you need to have 3d6 to equal 18. There is some manipulation that you can do during the game if you fill up a line, which is quite nice because then you can plan. But you also have an alignment. You also have
drafting.
You also have your normal kind of characteristics as well, which you find in D&D. So I was a bard. I was a dragon bard who was neutrally aligned, and you've got all these little things to try and manage as well. My bard gave me a power. There was another characteristic, I can't remember what it was, but then you got to try and get your alignment correct to get you the maximum point. And you did that by either buying cards and equipment, which would move this little cube in a 3x3 grid, which was 9 squares, and that was it. It was rolling dice and then manipulating your board and trying to get it to get maximum points every time, and buy equipment, which kind of worked really well. So what do you think? I think of this game. Yes, Kabuki, it's dice drafting.
Well, I have to, in my opinion, it's a fantastic game. The new expansion, the Minions expansion, allows you to build up your character and then actually go after these minions, which is really cool. And then now the new expansion looks really exciting as well. I have to say that you think it's good.
Yes, I did enjoy it. It is good, yes. So well done to Keith. Keith was on our last show, so if you want to go back and listen to that episode and hear about all the new things that he introduced into the new Kickstarter version, which is no longer on Kickstarter anymore. But I enjoyed it.
I think you can late pledge still.
Yeah. My one reservation is I'm one of these players that I do my stuff and I plan ahead. And there was a lot of waiting around as your players are deciding which dice they're going to take, so it decides the turn order. And it's like, okay, right, if they take this dice, I'm going to take that dice. If they take that dice and that dice is gone and those are left, then I'll take that one. So I'm like, in my head, I've got my dice already picked out which one I want to take and which one's the priority one. But other players were taking their time and kind of dragged the game out. I think they were all playing to maximize, where I was just playing to get the feel of the game. And as I said, I planned before, so I looked at my board, and when you assign your first lot of dice, I had them all planned out what I was going to do. I thought, well, I don't need that power because that power is rubbish. That power is pretty good. That colored dice is in the right space. That's the other thing that you could do. If you get the right colored dice in the right spaces, you get points as well. And again, you get points if you've got more of your own color, because each class has a different color dice. So there's lots. It's a point salad. There's points everywhere, which is fantastic, and it's just how you get them. But I found the game did drag because I was waiting, because I was planning very, very quickly. I enjoyed it. It was. I felt at the end when I put that last dice in, I felt satisfaction. This is my character. The Dragon Bard, who is neutrally aligned, and yes, I think I won. No, I didn't. No, I didn't win.
Yeah, I really love it. I actually have a custom playmat for it, and the new Kickstarter that's got a big deluxe box that you can fit all the expansions in, and I just think that's really cool. I think you haven't played the Minions expansion yet, have you?
No. I just played the base game. It was in French. So Keith, if you're watching, smack the publisher's bum because there was spelling mistakes and spelling errors in the French version, apparently. So I'll email him.
Are we going to do one more, or are we going to move on to the Woods of Evergreen?
Oh, I think we'll move on.
All right.
Because I'm starting to sweat underneath these things.
Oh, you have sweaty ears. Everybody's always said that about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what they really said was that you were wet behind the ears.
Ha ha
I think you saw what I did there, right?
That was very
The
good.
king has made a funny.
He hasn't made it funny.
The king
That
has
means-
made a funny. Laugh, everyone.
Okay, so I haven't got the music drop
Oh, no.
because I haven't got a CD driver in my PC to burn it off onto CD to put it onto the CD player to play it with speakers.
Yeah,
So,
but now you're going to fix that on the next show where we're going to have all the cool techie things with the new tech guy.
yeah, with the new tech guy.
Yeah, the tech guy that's come to Babblelot.
Okay, the new tech guy.
Yeah, new tech guy.
Has he fixed the leg on your throne as it stops wobbling?
So, the Woods of Evergreen are games from 2009 that still hold up to today's wonderful games.
Yes. Well,
All right.
that what we think still holds up.
It's what we
in
think.
comparison. Yeah.
And that means that they do hold up because we fixed it.
Very, very true.
Yes, yes. Well, I think that there's a game. This particular game is an area control game,
Okay.
and it's by one of my favorite publishers. It's one of the companies that brought out family games every year, and they uniquely only do one, sometimes two games in a year. But we really cut our teeth on so many of these wonderful games by Days of Wonder. And my number one pick is the game Small World.
Ooh, yeah.
I love Small World. I love the fact that you have all these different races and you can combine these two races with these cool little cardboard thick tokens that actually put them together and cause them to do something unique. And then when they go in to do area control, but you can't keep them too long because sooner or later you got to get yourself another race to come back in. And those races are kind of on a drafting board that you can go and grab. And the game is always different when you play it. They've had a lot of expansions to Small World so that you can get, I think the original game, if I remember right, has two sides to the board. Or no, it's for the different player counts. But there's Underground, I think, was one of them, and there's a couple others. I haven't actually played a lot of the expansions, but I played the one time that I think it's Underground. Love that game. It's just got a great feel to it. They made a super deluxeified version that was like $300 or something.
They did, yeah.
And that was really cool. I love getting the dwarves and being the dwarves and then having some kind of skill. I forget what it is, whether it's magic or something like that.
Smelly dwarfs or undead dwarfs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The skeletons, the undead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kabuki said $400 if she recalled for that great big fancy version. It was really quite amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, I would agree that is a good evergreen title which has withstood the test of time. It's still talked about.
Great art.
Yeah, it's still played. It's not an amazing game for myself. I do like playing it. It's not a game that I'm going to jump to. But you obviously think it is.
It's been a long time since I've played it, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, what's one for you?
What's one for me? Well, I like island games.
Island games.
Yeah.
I like pina coladas.
This is a treasure hunting one on an island called Tobago.
Tobago. I have that game on my shelf of shame.
Oh, right. I've got it here. Sorry.
I've never played it.
Yes, from 2009. It's an amazing. I love this game. This is like one of my highest ranked games. I just love playing this game. It is. You're playing clues which will shrink the map down to one location where the treasure is, and then you've got to get to the treasure to dig it up. And sometimes there's curses, and there's a lovely kind of like auction. Not really an auction, but there's a method of getting the treasure if loads of people played clues for that treasure. So the more clues you played, the more treasure you're going to get. But there's more chance of you getting a curse as well. It's it's got this basic board game feel from the 90s, which I love. The wooden cars, the wooden palm trees, and it's just a hidden treasure. It's still talked about, especially nowadays, because the Cryptid game came out, which is very similar mechanic. But this game is just I think it's one of those treasures that is well hidden, but it's still an evergreen. People will still pick this up. I've seen it on shelves as well in Game Store, still here in France. So, and people do talk about it with a lot of passion.
Yeah, I picked it up on a math trade for BGG several years ago, and it's just sat there.
Oh dear. Oh, as long as it's still green in the box.
I'm glad it's still evergreen, because now I want to play that.
It's definitely an evergreen.
Okay, I have another one.
It feels timeless. It doesn't feel like it's, you can say it's a game from the 90s, 2000s, or 2010.
Well, I have a great. We're going to each do 3. There's a lot more than 3 games in 2009 that I think hold up. But this is a game that, again, it's area control. But it has a little bit different mechanism of one of my favorite games, but it's very similar. And it's similar to the game Kemet, which I love Kemet. I think Kemet is just brilliant. I don't know what it is about that particular game and that battle system and that I love, but this game here is called Cyclades. And I know people argue about how to pronounce Cyclades. Cyclades, all that, whatever you want to say. But this has got that whole, Greek mythology aspect. And I have several maps for it so that you can have this different island that you can go to, and just the movement mechanics. And I have the Titans expansion. We liked it so much on the first play that we almost thought it was better than Kemet. And Kabuki is saying it's supposed to be called Comet. 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 Kemet.
Kemet. Oh,
I'm never going to get that right.
Kemet. Yeah.
Kemet. Comet. Anyway, Cyclades. This game is just fantastic. The way the army movement is, the way you go from island to island, the different abilities that some of these god tokens give you with your movement or with your army size, the battle system with these cards that you play down. I just think it's timeless. There's no reason to upgrade it even. I just think it's a great game.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played Cyclades. I've played Kemet, and it just sounds like it resembles it so much. And as you say, timeless. It is.
Yeah. It really does. It adds a few different things. I think mostly that I remember is mostly the way movement and some of those things take place. And you've got a different theme, different environment.
Yeah. So my number 2 is one that Kabuki's said in the chat. It is called The Resistance.
Oh,
this is a game that is still played a lot here in France. I've seen it a lot in the gaming groups, and it's just one of those. It's the perfect werewolf game, but without elimination. It's the communication between the players and who's working on what team, and you got to try and figure it out by the things that they do and the things that they say and how they sabotage. Did they sabotage the mission, or was it someone else? It's a bluffing game. We spent one night playing it like 4 or 5 times in a row with the same group of people. We just loved it so much. And we had such a laugh because all these kind of like in jokes came out about who's lying and who's not lying, and especially if you role play it as well and you add some story to your missions, which is quite fun as well. It's like, okay, right, this mission is we must go in and steal Donald Trump's toilet. He goes, I couldn't steal it, but I couldn't get the night off. My wife had me fixing our own toilet. It's like, So yeah, a fantastic game.
I like the Avalon version.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't played that one, but that has a bit more added onto it, doesn't it? It has a few extra characters with special powers.
Yeah, just a little bit of that.
Yeah, there's one person that
Arthurian.
plays Merlin,
Right.
so they can win a different way to the team of Camelot or the team of the other team. So,
But yeah, that's a great game.
yeah, that's a fantastic game.
I have a game.
2009.
I don't know if you've played this. This one probably might be a little obscure nowadays, but this game is a dice rolling game, and it's a Western themed game.
Oh, the Dice Town.
Dice Town.
Wow.
And I tell you what, my one daughter Hannah that did all of our graphics and stuff for our Kickstarter page, she hates this game. There's this one place where you have the queens, and all the dice have all these poker card, emblems on there, and you're rolling, and you're trying to whoever has the best hand, and you're rolling kind of 3 times, kind of like Yahtzee-ish style. Mm-hmm. But you can go to these different places that all give you different things. Well, if you go to the queen, that's the one that the queens, I forget the name, it's the outpost or something like that. You can steal something from someone, and that makes her so mad. So she hates that because you can't control that. But other than that little bit of that take that's in the game, just fun dice rolling, little bit of bluffing, kind of, which resource are you going to take? Just fun, accessible, cool, fun, old West cartoon art. We have the expansion for it too, which is pretty good. A little bit complicates it a little bit, but other than that, it's just good fun. I think it still holds up. I really like Dice Town.
Yeah. I've seen it again. That's a board game cafe game. That is. I've seen that when I go to the cafe in Reims. I've seen people just playing that, and it's like, wow, they're still playing that game. And it's like, yeah, because it's simple and it's fun and it's just push your luck whenever you want. So yeah, Ben, how do you do it? You go into the search menu up here. You push advanced search. You type in the year that you want.
Yeah, I had to figure that out too, Ben.
Yeah. So you put the range to the year, so 2009 to 2009. Push enter, and then it lists all the games from 2009.
So now there's a perfect example of what we were talking about with BGG. They've made some changes. That advanced search used to be a link that you could read. So now you just click in the box to find it. It's still there, but once you do that advanced search, it's pretty friendly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can find really nicely. So wonderful site, but sometimes the intuitive nature of finding those buttons is difficult.
Yeah, they kept it clean though. I prefer it hidden to again the list of do you want to search by board game artist?
I couldn't find it.
No, it's not until you accidentally
clicked every other thing, and I couldn't find it until we clicked in that field. Anyway.
Yeah. So my third game, as you can probably see with a 9.2 rating, is Dominion Intrigue.
Oh, yeah.
Dominion is just such a big game anyway. People don't talk about it as much, but there is, at the time, it was the best game. And many games, there's not many deck building games anymore, are there? You don't hear about a lot.
We're going to play one today, which is the DC deck builder.
Oh, right. But this is still an evergreen. I've seen people play this, not as much because people want to add the theme in. But this game, it has still withstood the test of time because of its simple rules and the amount of replayability due to the fact that you can mix in different cards from different sets. Intrigue for me is the slightly better version than the base game because it adds a lot more nastiness and backstabbing cards. The wife likes doing that as well. Our strategy is, get the sorcerer and then place as many curses on me as possible. But she doesn't need the game to do that. Excuse me.
Awesome.
Well, so there you go. Is that the 3?
6 games.
Yay!
I picked Small Worlds, Cyclades, Dice Town, and you picked
Tobago, sorry, Resistance,
Tomato.
and Dominion Intrigue.
Dominion Intrigue. There you
Let's
go.
have a look at the chat. What did Kabuki put? She put
It's
some
up a
games.
ways.
It's up a ways, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
we got
yeah,
into
it is.
advanced search.
Yes. So she put
Thunderstone.
Japur.
Japur.
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity.
She put Resistance as well. Cards Against Humanity. Thunderstone.
She's got to be joking about that, though.
Yeah.
It
has in a way withstood the test of time, though, hasn't it, as an evergreen? Because they bring out a new version of Thunderstone. There's not been a new version of Dominion.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice going there, KK.
Well, we're going to move right along then to the Babble topic.
And there we are.
I like Thunderstone too. I like Thunderstone Quest a lot. Do.
And now
Babble.
Time for the Babble, 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 Burky and Badger's board game Babble.
Well, before we get into our Babble topic, we want to thank our fine sponsor, Arcane Wonders. I tell you what, Arcane Wonders has been doing some amazing things. Arcane Wonders came out with this new game that is called Volcanic Isle. You can see right here. The table presence of this game is just absolutely spectacular, where you've got these tokens that you're moving around to the different parts of the island, and then you have these geysers that come and you're building up your villages to collect points. Was able to play that at Origins, had a lot of fun playing that. In addition, at GenCon, they released the brand new game Dragon Scales, designed by Richard Launius. And this here is a Dice Tower essential game. Dragon Scales is a remake of the Defenders of the Realm type of game, or Dragon Rampage, that Eagle Griffin had. And now this game has been redone and slightly rethemed with some new character archetypes. The table presence of this game looks fantastic. I actually had the opportunity to play test that with Richard Launius and Brian Pope, Trey Lennox at Dice Tower Con 2 years ago, and it just came to GenCon. It was a huge success. They sold most of all their copies, and they had a lot of them there. They also have a brand new game called Architecture that is there, which is a smaller card game that you can check out from Arcane Wonders. And lastly, I want to just talk about, they have a brand new Kickstarter coming in November, and this is for the game Foundations of Rome. And this is an Emerson Matsuuchi game. Emerson designed Century Spice Robe and so many Spectre Ops and so many amazing games. Well, this, you should see the miniatures of this city building game that Arcane Wonders has come, and Game Toppers is actually going to be working alongside them to make a custom 3mm premium mat. You should see the amount of work, the size of the box that this thing is coming in. It's huge. It's Emerson Matsuuchi. What do you say?
Yeah, it's huge.
He's one of the nicest guys, fantastic designer, a lot of credibility. I'm super thrilled to be a part of that game. I think that's going to be a huge hit for Arcane Wonders coming up on Kickstarter in November. Check them out at arcanewonders.com. So with that, we're going to move right on to our Babble topic.
Babble, 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 babble,
Burky and Badger board game Babble show. Where, you know, there was a time that you used to grab your guitar and we would just jam and we would just flow. you know, just flow. And
We would.
yeah, where did those times go? Those were good times.
They were good times, but we were a lot more off the hook there. I think we're trying to stick to the script more often than not.
Stupid script.
Oh dear. Oh well.
We got to get through the stupid list. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Who writes this list anyway?
Some idiot. Anywho,
I'm going to find a new writer.
Yeah, maybe someone who's not so much of a joker and a clown.
Oh, so tell us about the Babble topic. What are we talking about?
We're talking about unboxing. I mean, everyone knows how much I hate and despise unboxing videos. But we're not gonna delve into that.
KK has got it right, man. Yeah, vamp.
Yeah, that easy cash grab that even the big channels are doing now. It's like showing off. It's like, here you go, look what I got. I got this game. Woo! I don't know how to play it. I haven't read the rules. I'm just gonna open it up and show you everything, and they get 2,000 clicks, which will give me at least $5 this month on top of the other $2,000 I get from YouTube. Yeah, right.
Well, so you're talking about an unboxing video, and honestly, this thing, I think there's a purpose for unboxing because sometimes we just want to see what's in the box, and from the back of the box, sometimes you can't tell. So I think there's value to seeing somebody take out the components, and you can look at them. But what blows my mind, what frustrates me, is that you have reviewers. I don't consider myself a reviewer. I'm kind of a first impression flavor guy here. Love the hobby. I'm an enthusiast. I don't consider myself a high quality reviewer. I'm more of a content creator. But Barry, I consider you a much more professional reviewer. Because when you do reviews, they're so thoughtful. I mean, you've played the game at several player counts. You've thought about how you want to communicate what you liked about the game, what you didn't like. You've researched the rules. You've done a lot of time, and then you put all this effort into the professional video editing and the amount of time you spend. And so many other reviewers do the same thing. But what happens is these unboxing folks, they just come out there, throw a camera on, and unbox, and then they get 200,000 hits or 10,000 hits, and here you've put all this work into this thing that gets 700-800 hits or something. That drives me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, Drakenstrike, old Jeremy Salinas.
Yeah. From Man vs. Meeple.
Yeah, long time ago, he used to do these really professional look at these components of this game videos, and they were beautiful. I used to watch them. They weren't up these meaningless unboxing videos. He would give a nice narration. He'd take out the pieces. They'd be displayed or painted, and it would just look gorgeous. Everything he did was gorgeous. Now, that's what I call a box opening. If you want to check, like Kabuki says, make sure that you've got all the components in your box the same as what everyone else has got, or if you want to just look at what is in the game itself, then that's a good way. But I just find them shallow and soulless because this is a nice mini, he says with the camera blurred. No, it's not a nice mini. I want to know if it's a nice game more than I wanted a nice mini. I was frustrated when Batman got delivered from Monolith. It was like 28 videos popped up within the first week, and they were all unboxing videos. At what point is someone going to watch your unboxing video over someone else's? And at what point is the guy who did it first, is he still gonna have more views than everyone else? It's like
well, the frustration is that they have seemingly success with it, and it's like you work really hard to do something thoughtful and well done, and then someone just Joe Schmo comes along and here's my box and look at all the goodies. And like you say, you really don't know anything about the game necessarily. Usually those unboxing videos are really crappy quality too. Camera moving all around and
it's filled with meaningless tripe as well. There's nothing really interesting that the person says unless they make a gaffe and they say weird words, and then it's quite amusing. But
Well, I was listening to Marty Cannell from Rolling Dice and Taking Names, and he was talking to Tony about these reaction videos. Well, I hadn't heard of them, you know.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I go online and I watch this guy react to couple of these songs that, you know, he's a rapper, but he listens to these country songs and Leonard Skinner song. And I mean, I got to admit, I was kind of captivated for it by a while. Just his reactions to him listening to music he hadn't heard before was really amusing. Yeah. And he's getting like 700,000 hits, 1 million hits on some of these things. And his Bohemian Rhapsody, I forget the guy's name now, but 1 million hits. And all he's doing is listening and reacting. And so it just feels like there's no effort, and yet he's achieving success with it. And that's the way I feel with these unboxing. Just anybody can do it, and it just doesn't matter anymore. And to me, it diminishes the quality effort that's being, you know, maybe I'm talking about it too much even, but
yeah,
I don't know. It frustrates me.
Yeah, it frustrates me. So let's move on, shall we?
Well, but I think there is value to being able to see what's in the box.
Yeah, but you can get that from a tutorial video or from a review video where they will actually say, okay, this game is good, this component's a bit bad, it doesn't work, you get lost, your eye glisses over that part of the board so you can't see that properly. I mean, I watched one from Richard this morning, which I found was pretty useful, when he talked about the 10th anniversary edition of Pandemic, and there was a route missing from the board between two cities.
Oh, but see, that's a little different. You know, if you've got something special that you really want to show off those components and unbox, that seems a little bit different to me, like a 10th anniversary. So you could, because that's the whole point. It's a tricked out version. You know, now they have the new 10th is it 10th anniversary?
Or a comparison video.
Puerto Rico, they just announced that they're remaking, but it's not going to be like that great big anniversary set that they made. It's going to be more retail accessible. Well, I already have the game, so I kind of do want to see what's in there, and I don't need a review.
Yeah. But again, a comparison video where someone's got two versions of the game, and they go, "Oh, and this version is good. That's not too bad. You know, that's informative."
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone just opens their box and goes, "Look what I got! I got this game before all you people, and I'm just going to make lots of clicks from this because I'm showing you. Oh, look at this figure here. Whoa, and this. Oh, this comes with boards as well. What did you expect to find in the box?"
Well. Speaking of, look what I have here. It has been the tradition at GenCon that people would show their GenCon hauls. Or if they go to a big convention, they have a haul to show. Well, we were talking about this last night at supper, and people we were talking about our first GenCon and how we totally filled this Buick LeSabre with 4 guys and all of the games that we had. Queen Games had this deal where you buy a game and you get a $20 gift certificate off the next game, and you kept doing it every day. So we all had duplicates of all these really good Queen games, actually. And then we got Shogun and we got Echoes. No, not Echoes. Anyway, we got a bunch of good stuff. Speculation was one of them. But we had so many games from GenCon that we had to take all of our clothes out of our suitcases. I'm not BSing you. So, because you can tuck underwears and socks, you can tuck them underneath the couch, underneath the chairs, you know. And we made use of every ounce of space so that games were inside the luggage and games were in the trunk. And I mean, that back end of that car was like this. We're just cruising down the road because we had this huge GenCon haul. I sent you a picture, Barry,
yes, we did,
of a GenCon. Oh, there's a couple things. The one that's sitting on my table, on my tapa, and there's going to be a game in there that you're going to be actually pretty excited to see that I acquired.
It's sitting, Batman.
It's over in the corner.
Yeah. Well done.
Quite a deal. There's 2 big honking boxes. Now, I could open those and unbox them and show you all the minis, but that would just irritate you. But look at that. I got the city game from Breaking Games.
Mm-hmm.
God of War from Come On.
Yeah, I've played that. Very hard.
There's Dragon Scales from Arcane Wonders and Architecture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the back there, we've got the new Run, Fight, or Die revised game from Gray Fox Games.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this one, Copenhagen Deluxe from Queen Games.
No way.
And then we've got a Merlin expansion. So I'm bringing these games back to the booth at the end of the show. And I've been complaining about all the games that I haven't been able to play that are on my shelf of shame. So Josiah looks at me and he goes, Dad, I don't think you understand how this works. If you want to get rid of games, you are not supposed to get more games.
Yeah.
But that's a small haul compared to what I used to get.
So what do you do? Do you, when you get games, do you unbox them or do you leave them in their film?
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder what I wonder. I know, like Jesse Shakey's a good friend of mine. He helped me the first year we did Game Toppers at GenCon, and he tells me the minute he gets his game, one of the funnest things for him is to open that game up, punch it all out, get it organized. He loves doing that.
I love doing that as well. That's what I do. I get the game. This is Dead of Winter, which I've had for like nearly 2 years. I still haven't played it, but I've opened it. I've punched it. I've placed it on the table. I've read the rules. I've sniffed it, and I just need to play it. That's the only thing. With my Rodney Smith card in it. You
know, unless I'm getting ready to play it, I don't do that because I don't know when I'm going to get to it, and I don't want the cardboard to warp. And you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like I'm not going to get to it, and I don't know. Sometimes I've played other people's copy of the game, and then I've got a game that's in shrink. I just flat out have too many stinking games that I'm not playing, and it's due to my you know, the business and all that stuff in my season of life.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, I know that a lot of these games are fantastic, and that I'm hopefully will be able to get to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I typically don't do that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than, that's the thing. For me, it's like I get the game, I unbox it, I read it, I remember the rules. The next day, I remember the rules, and I think, oh, I'm going to play it tomorrow with so and so. I remember the rules, and then that day comes, and they can't make it, and it's like,
yeah.
And then a month or so later, they do come around and they go, all right, let's play that game now, and it's like, oh crud, I've got to read the rules again. Where is my life going?
Does it go out of your mind? Yeah. Does the excitement go out after you've opened it? Do you lose the excitement if you don't get to it right away? Is it kind of out of mind?
Not really. I mean, I've got Joan of Arc here as well. That's another game that it's taken me like 2 days to unbox Joan of Arc.
I'm going to get that.
And I need to play it because I just have this urge to play it. It's the stories, the minis, the way the actions interact with each other. And I tried playing it solo with the rule book, and no, I need someone there. I need someone there to remember the rules as we are discovering them. And so we got this feedback. Oh, you can't do that, remember? Oh, yes, I can. For me, that's a problem. But with some other games, it's quite easy to open it, put it on the table, play solo for a couple of rounds, and then remember those rules. It's like Tiny Towns. You know, Paul taught us how to play Tiny Towns. I can still I could teach you Tiny Towns now because I remember from just that one play experience. Mainly because the rules are simple, but it's in my head, those rules, because I love them. The mechanisms themselves are so nice.
I have so much going on in my life with the complexity of my business that I I'm having a hard time remembering rules from games that I know. Even it's like sometimes there's just no recall, and then as soon as I start playing it again, I go, oh yeah. It all comes back to me. But like at first glance, I'll look at a game and go, I don't think I could teach that, and yet I know I love that game.
Kabuki says, that's my life too. It seems that I'm always learning games, but nobody picks it to play on the game night until weeks later, and then I'm rusty on the rules by then. Ben says, I still haven't punched Gloomhaven though. The fear I won't be able to get won't be able to get it back into the box.
Yeah. You have to get one of those dataless inserts.
That happened a bit with Joan of Arc. It was like the tokens are all in punches, and once you punch them out, there's nowhere for them to go. The cards are all wrapped up in cellophane, and once you take the cellophane off, where do they go? And so it's like, where's those spare baggies? And then
I find that with those
squeeze
plastic,
them into the right place.
Those form plastic where all the little miniatures fit in there, and they all kind of got to orientate a certain way. Yeah, I find sometimes that can be really confusing.
That can be confusing as well. You open the box, you take the minis out, and then you go, wait a minute, where does this one go?
They're not labeled.
No, they're not labeled. The good thing that Batman does is they're labeled, so they're quite easy to find and put back. So, cool. I mean, you could get Batman and just do a Tom Vassell Dice Tower component drop, and you'll be able to put it back in the box no problem because it's all kind of like labeled up. But I had a problem putting Joan of Arc away the other day. One of the characters wouldn't go back in, and I figured out why. It's because
of course it is.
It's concaved at the back, and for some reason the concave had been pushed forward. So when I put the figure in, I go, no, it doesn't go there because that's not the right shape. And it's like, well, it doesn't go anywhere else. It took me a while to figure out that I just got to push it back down, and then it went in. Oh.
Hey, Chris Goodlet's in the house. In the castle. He's talking about game trays.
What's he saying then?
Well, he said it's nice when the inserts actually work. I've noticed some games that game trays, that's Noah Adelman makes, and it makes such a difference. I totally agree. Custom inserts too. I love them.
Yeah. Ornate. That's very British of you, Burky.
Hey, yeah, it is. Orientate.
Yeah.
So I sent you a picture of my shelf of shame. Here it is.
Here's the shelf.
There's a whole wing of the castle dedicated to all the crap I haven't got to. Except the problem is it's not crap. Look at that.
Yeah, you got Flamme Rouge there.
Yeah, Flamme Rouge is up there. But I played that with you in Forum Trigeum. But look, I got Lisboa, full-blown Lisboa Kickstarter.
You got Ganymede as well.
Yeah,
and Museum. They're good games.
Look at them all.
Detective.
Yeah, Detective.
El Dorado, Tricarian. Oh my God, you've got that. My Shelf of Shame is not that bad. My Shelf of Shame is just here.
I mean, I want to move it out of the room so I don't have to walk by it.
So my Shelf of Shame consists of Dead of Winter, Joan of Arc. This game's actually in Shrink.
The
Snitch from Jumping Turtle Games. I have unboxed and looked at the rules for Fog of Love, but I still haven't played it. And as you can see, the expansion's still in Shrink. And another game that I desperately want to get play to is this Kickstarter from a while ago called Vampire Hunters. But it's those bigger, more condensed games, as you can see. Joan of Arc, Vampire Hunters, Dead of Winter, which are the ones that are hard to get to the table.
Well, my problem is I'm getting a bunch. Not only am I going to a convention, I'm getting some, Kickstarters that are coming through. I just recently Dragon Boats just came in from Maple Games.
Oh yeah,
and then I just received my Nemo's War. And the Secret Cabal Gaming podcast, Jamie Keggy loves Nemo's War. It's a solo game. I don't hardly ever play solo games, but after listening to him talk about this and then seeing some things on, I thought, man, this looks fantastic. I'm kind of excited to unbox that one just to take a day off and go play a game by myself.
I want to, Ben, you say that you punched Bosk this morning. Did he punch you back? Just want to know. Chris Godlet says it's 15 games on his shelf of shame at the moment. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So what do you do with the shelf of shame? Do you call your shelf of shame before you've played a game? Or do you keep it there till you play it? Or do you lose interest in it and say, I'm going to get that off of there because I'm not going to get to it?
I never lose interest. I mean, they're sat on the shelf. Oh, actually, there's another one I've just seen. Good Critters. I haven't played yet. Again, that requires a big group of people. Hopefully, when the gaming group starts up again in September, I'll be able to get that to the table because that's quite a simple game to play. But yeah.
So do you always play a game before you get rid of it?
Oh yes. Yes. It's got to be played.
I wish I could say that. That hasn't always been the case for me.
Yeah, but yeah,
it feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's games that again I've played, but I feel that I need to play them again to justify getting rid of them. Like I was just saying earlier in the chat, that Thunderstone is a game that I'm thinking about getting rid of. It's a great deck builder. It just doesn't go down well here. We played a 5-player game and it just went on and on and on. And it's like, oh, it was fun unboxing it and fun sorting out and fun sleeving it and then fun unsleeving it. But
I have 6 boxes of Thunderstone and Thunderstone Advance, all sleeved. I mean, the whole thing probably weighs 70, 80 pounds. I don't know. But I got Thunderstone Quest, and I like that a lot.
All right. So it looks like the other ones will be sliding out. Yes.
Correct.
Right. What was the other question on the chat, on the thing?
Chat? Do we have any? Well, I think we covered our questions, what we were talking about unboxing, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think
we didn't do the poll.
Oh, your poll. You're right. Talk about the poll.
Well, let's wrap this up and then we go to the poll.
And maybe on the new poll we can ask how many games are on their shelf of shame.
Yeah.
How many people unbox their game right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can get some percentages.
Yeah.
And find out other people's behaviors.
Yeah. About games. As if we don't know enough about them already. Because they are us. I've tried to think of the quote from the film. I can't think of the quote from the film. They're us. They're turning into us, man. Yeah. So
I think that's basically our Babble topic. So tell us about the poll.
Yeah, after our last show, when we had Keith from Thunderworks Games tell us about his wonderful role playing, and we'd been all working and doing cons and bits and stuff. And so I put a poll up asking everyone, have you worked a convention or demoed for a company? And we have 43 people saying no, they've never worked at a convention or an event. And 25 people saying yes, they have, which is interesting. And so the next question that I posted was, if you worked at a convention, why did you do it? And the biggest vote, as you can see, is 50%. 15 people said simply for the love of gaming and making people happy. And you see this little green tick here? That's me. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. I like it that nobody voted for because I want free games afterwards. Or nobody voted for because I had a chance to talk about a great game. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment, really. Because I like talking about a great game. And I'm looking forward to Essen when I'm going to be talking about a great game called Abyss Conspiracy. And nobody voted for because I wanted to encounter new people. But I think that just the love of gaming and making people happy encompasses most of that. 7 people said that they do it because they wanted to get the experience, which is great, and hopefully they'll be back. I should have put, did you enjoy your experience or did you not enjoy your experience? 4 people said because I am an employee of the company. Who are you? Who are you looking at my poll and voting? we want free games, don't we, Burky, to put more on our shelf of shame?
Not really. I turned them down.
We also had 4 people say they do conventions because they want a free entry, which is honest. So yeah, that was our last poll from our last show. I'll put up another poll, as Burky says, about our shelf of shame and unboxing. Do you have a shelf of shame? Is it unboxed, or is it still in its plastic thingy sheathing?
Yeah, and how many games people have on their shelf?
Yeah, that will be interesting as well. So,
well, that's been we've covered a lot of stuff. It's been a while, but we haven't, we've had guests on the show, so we haven't covered as many of the games. But this show, we covered a lot of different games.
We have indeed, yeah. Which feels nice. And again, that's good as well, because that spawned a lot of threads and hits as well. Just the fact that we will have a lot of lists of games everywhere. So,
well, I think now that Game Toppers, our Kickstarter completed, it was super successful. We had such a great time with so many backers, and now that the convention season is winding down a little bit, we still have PAX Unplugged and Essen and BGG Con, but they're later in the fall. So we've got a little bit of time here that we're going to be able to continue to work on fulfillment for our backers and getting orders placed and managing the Kickstarter. But one thing I did want to mention real quickly with Game Toppers 2.0, you can actually still get in. If you miss the Kickstarter, have no fear. You can jump right in and you can get all of the same Game Topper goodness that people experienced during the Kickstarter campaign. There's some crazy, awesome Kickstarter package prices where you can get the Scotland Yard bundle. This is our #1 selling Watson with a storage bag, 2 mats, collapsible cup holders, all kinds of gizmos that we unlocked over 40 stretch goals during our campaign. You can take advantage of all these things. And the Baker Street package, which is with our top selling homes topper, the Reichenbach Falls package that has our big Mycroft, which is now a 2 tables in 1, where you get a 48-inch by 48-inch Moriarty and a 48-inch by 96-inch Mycroft topper, all in one package. Some amazing deals. Our storage bags and for our gaming mats, they're hugely successful. People are coming into the late pledge now and buying tons of these storage bags to store all of their game mats. And we have unlocked over 16 thematic game mats. The new Ryan Lockett mat, I mean, it's off the hook. It's beautiful, enchanted. The Scythe-inspired mat is by the artist Yaroslav, who did Reavers of Midgard, and he did our Viking mat. When you see these mats in person, we had these at GenCon, everybody said, well, they look good online, but when they see it in person, they just cannot believe how crazy awesome they are. We also have a fantasy mat that's coming in a lot of different sizes and just amazing stuff on the Kickstarter. So you can still get in on all of this gamer goodness until August 25th. After that, stuff's still going to be available. However, we're going to take away a few of the stretch goals because we have to place some orders. And, some of the pricing is going to be adjusted slightly. Still going to be some really great deals. But if you want everything that happened in the Kickstarter, you have till August 25th. Late pledge now. Upgrade every game that you play with a Game Topper.
Thank you, Game Toppers.
And there you have it. Excuse me.
Whew. Yeah, out of breath, aren't you?
Kabuki Kid says that Ryan Lockett should do a space mat because his space art is better than his fantasy. That's very interesting. We're going to be doing some very interesting things in the future with some very famous board game artists, and Game Toppers is only going to get better. We're positioning ourselves to be here to stay.
Yeah, cool stuff. So let's wrap it up, shall we?
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. And where can they find us there, Sir Barry?
I've just tweeted. There is that.
The badger.
Oh, dearie me. I'm so bad.
Your screen doesn't come up?
Yeah, it does. I'm just clicking the wrong buttons at the same time. You can find us, Burky and Badger Board Game Babble, pretty much anywhere if you type that in Google. You'll find us for some strange reason. But anyway, you can find us on boardgameseverybodyshould.com, which is my website with all my reviews, and plus my team of French reviewers who are reviewing for me in French and in English, as well as all my board game music and Sirenscape music. You can find all that there. You can also go to boardgametheatre.com, and that's his site down there, where you can find board game theatre videos, as well as the link to the Game Toppers, as well as obviously Burky and Badger.
Yeah, and you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Burky and Badger. We're pretty much type in Burky and Badger Board Game Babble, and you will find us all over the place, including the BGG Guild 2248. And we would love to have your interaction in our poll on the Guild, and that's BGG Guild 2248. And we'd love to interact with you, so we sure appreciate it. And the professional audio version of this podcast that Barry professionally edits, which is it's fantastic, actually. He really does a good job. That's going to be on iTunes and on Stitcher Radio. So with that, I'll just thank you all so much for listening and coming into the show. We look forward to talking with you again in a couple weeks.
We do indeed. Cue music, cue graphic.
Boom, boom, boom.
We're so glad we had this time together. And now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Burky and Badger will be back
in no time. Hey, hey, hey.
There it goes.